Good evening, everybody. Today I'm going to start out with a story, and then I'm going to continue with the continuation of the Gemara that we learned on a few days ago. This is another video from Torah for Teens. If you have not checked out our channel is when I teach shiurs for teens who are devoted to Torah study. So the story goes, it talks about it. The name of the story is an ugly remedies for ugly, like a cure for ugliness. And so there was a Talmudic student, and he was engaged to a very ugly girl. The father forced the engagement on him. So the son doesn't really like her because she's very ugly. And so he goes over to the rabbi to talk about the issue. And he goes, "Really, Rabbi, if I marry her, she's going to make me miserable. She's really ugly." And the rabbi says, "My son, use your head. All right, let's examine the problem. All right, she is ugly. But tell me this. Answer me this. When you're going to be studying in the base medrash all day, are you going to be looking at her? No. When you come home to eat, are you going to be looking at her? No. When you are falling asleep, will you be looking at her? No. And finally, if you are already asleep, are you going to be looking at her? No. And if you have any leisure time, free time, you're going to go out for a walk. And are you going to look at her? No. Are you going to look at her then? No. So what's this fetching about? You're never going to look at her. When will you look at her? So the story is just saying that it doesn't matter if your wife looks ugly or beautiful or whatever. You're never going to really look at her a lot. So that was the story for today, and I'm going to continue with the Gemara. So we ended off by saying it brought two proofs for that we should talk about the evening before the morning. First one is Ushavchav Kumecha, which is in Shema, and it says when you lie down and when you arise, and it says and the next one is Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Boker, and it talks about it was evening and then it was morning. So those are two proofs that say it was evening before morning. So now it starts by saying Uva Erev Mivarch Dikatani Bishachar Mivarch Shtayim Lefanya Ve'achad Le'achrina. And in the morning Shema, you have two blessings before and one blessing after. Uva Erev Mivarch Shtayim Lefanya Shtayim Le'achrina. And in the evening, you have two blessings before and two blessings after. So Litani, now it's going to teach us the Arvis Bereisha, and it's going to teach us the Arvis in the Reisha. Tana betach ba'arvis. And now the Tana, in our case, is going to open up the book to talk about the Arbit Shema. And he's going to explain, it says, Perish Milei the Shachris, and then after he's going to, and then V'chadar Tani Shachris, and afterwards the Tana is going to teach about Shachris. Adekai b'Shachris, and when he's teaching about Shachris, Perish Milei the Shachris, he's going to explain the words of Shachris. He's going to talk about Shachris. It says V'chadar Perish Milei Darvis, and afterwards it's going to explain the words for the Arvit Shema. It says Amar Mar, and the master of the Gemara said in the Mishnah, from the time that the Kohanim entered to eat their truma, Machte, now let us see. Kohanim emas ka achle betruma. When do the Kohanim really enter to eat their truma? When do they do it? Maset says kovim litni maset says kovim. The answer is when the time that the stars appear or they come out in the sky. And now the Mishnah is going to state explicitly that one may recite the Shema from the time that the stars appear. So why does the Mishnah state this time in such a roundabout way? Why is it going to say like really quickly? Just they said it right there, and then now the Mishnah is going to say it right again. It's like the same phrase twice. So now the Gemara is going to answer that. It says Milta Gav Orchia Kishman Lan. The Tana, which is to take us back. He wants us to teach us something in the passing. Namely, Kohanim Amos Kachle B'Truma. When are the Kohanim who are Tameh permitted to eat Truma? Maset Tzeisakovim, from the time that the stars appear. So it says V'chai Kashman Lan, and this is what the Tana means to teach us in this case. He teaches us that the stars appear in this case. And it says Zechara Lo B'achva. That is atonement offering. A Tamei person must bring a day after his immersion when he goes into the mikvah. Does not hold back a kohen from becoming tahar in regard to truma. And the Gemara cites the scriptural source for this ruling. It says, Kedatanya, and it was taught in a brisa, Uva Hashem Shvitachar. The Torah states regarding a kohen who became tamei and immersed himself. And when the sun comes down and the day has passed, Vitachar. Thereafter, he may eat from the holy foods. Vitachar means holy. It means pure, holy foods. From which we learn that Bema Shimsho Ba'achvato Melachol B'truma. The setting of the sun following his immersions, from when he went to the mikveh, holds him back from eating truma because the sun is setting. You can't do anything. You can't change the sun, or when rain comes, or when there's going to be a hurricane or something. Chash v'shalom. And it says ve'ein kapra be'ach v'to malcho b'truma, but his atonement offering that he must bring the next day does not hold him back from eating truma. So you can't control the weather, so that's going to hold you back. But your atonement offering, you can control that when you're going to have it. So after the Gemara questions the Brise's understanding of the verse, now it's going to question. It's going to say, "Umay dechai uva shemesh be'asa shemesh," and on what basis do you conclude that this expression "and when the sun comes" means the setting of the sun? Like, when it comes, how do you know that it means that? How do you mean when it comes, it's the setting of the sun? It says v'chai v'tachar tachar yoma. And this expression v'tachar means the complete passing of the day, from which you derive that a kohen may eat truma even before he brings his atonement offering. So it's saying that v'tachar, it means that it's the complete passing of the day. That's what it's going to ask a question on. It says delma bias orehu. Perhaps the expression "when the sun comes" means the coming of light, because when the sun comes, light is going to start appearing, and it's going to shine. It's going to shine light all over the place, and it's going to say, "When the sun comes up on the morning of the following day." Umay v'tachar. And so, what does v'tachar mean? What does the word v'tachar mean? It says tachar gavra. It means when a person should make himself tachar, when he wants to purify himself, he wants to make himself holy, in a sense. So he brings offering, a sacrifice. Thus, the verse would be teaching that a kohen may eat truma only after he brings his atonement offering. So that's the question. So the Gemara answers its own question. Amar Rabba Barav Shila. Now the Amora in this case, this Amora is going to answer Rav Barav Shila, and it says Im Kain. If so, that the verse is instructing the Kohen to bring his offering in order to be allowed to eat truma. Let the verse say ve'yitachar, not v'tachar, ve'yitachar. In the command form, and my v'tachar. So what is v'tachar? What is the meaning of the word v'tachar? Tachar yoma. It must mean the passing of the day. K'da amri in she, as the people say, I ariv shimsha ve'idakai yoma. The sun has set, and the day has passed. So in today's lesson, we talked about when do the when the stars come out, when they appear. Now, and the Gemara asks a question of what does the word v'tachar mean, and it says that you should actually say ve'yitachar in the command form, and that v'tachar means that you should purify himself, but it also means when the sun should come, and that it means the sun has set and the total day has passed. Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen ve'Amen. I hope you enjoyed the shiur. Please subscribe and give a thumbs up, and have a wonderful night.